All right, today we are diving deep into a really fascinating metaphysical system from our source material. We're going to take a structured look at something we think we know, something we see every day but maybe don't understand at all: the field of water. So, right off the bat, our source material hits us with this huge question. It's asking us to just, completely rethink what water is. What if it's not just a physical substance? What if it's actually a key? A gateway to perceiving reality itself in a whole new way. Let's get into it.
So, how do you even access this so-called field of water? Well, according to the source, it's not a place you can just walk into. Nope, to get in, you have to meet a very specific set of metaphysical conditions. Think of it less like a door and more like a philosophical lock that you need the right key for. And get this, those conditions are spelled out, inscribed on a sapphire tablet right before the gate of water. You have to embody these four principles: rebirth, life, kindness, and purification. This tells you immediately, we're not just dealing with physics or science here. This is a system that's deeply rooted in virtue, in a kind of moral harmony.
Okay, so let's zoom all the way out now and look at the big picture, the macro scale. The source takes water's energy and conceptualizes it on a planetary level. And it starts with something we all know, the atmosphere, but frames it in completely new and honestly pretty cool light. So here's the deal with clouds in this system. They are not just condensed water vapor, not even close. You have to think of them as these dynamic storehouses of atmospheric energy. They're like giant floating batteries in the sky, constantly being managed by this delicate dance between forces from the planet below and the cosmos above. And this slide, this basically shows you the engine that makes that whole system run. On one side, you've got the tensor mechanism. That's where energy builds up, like in hot, humid climates. And on the other side, you've got the tension release mechanism, which is when all that pent-up energy gets discharged as storms, rain, snow. It's like the planet is literally blowing off steam.
Now, for this whole atmospheric balancing act to work, an entire set of factors has to be in perfect harmony. You've got the sun supplying the energy, the planet's own electromagnetic field acting as a container, the moon pulling on the tides, and of course the planet's tilt and orbit creating the seasons. It's this beautiful, complex, interconnected cosmic dance.
Okay, now we get to what, for me, is probably the most profound, most mind-bending concept in this entire analysis. We're shifting gears from the physical world to the world of perception. The source suggests that water, specifically through its waves, can fundamentally change how we see reality.
This one quote is the absolute cornerstone of the whole idea. Waves are visible imprints of invisible energy. So waves aren't just a result of energy. They're the signature of it. They're something that can actually be read and understood, if you just know how.
So, building on that, the source explains that these waves act as veils, and each type of wave conceals a totally different layer of reality. Learning to tap into a wave is kind of like activating an augmented reality filter for the world. It reveals information that was always there, all around you, but just completely invisible until now.
And here's how you lift those veils. It's a process called syncing, and it's a step-by-step thing. You start simple. Sync with heat waves to literally see heat. Then you sync with wind to see the flow of air currents. But then it gets way more abstract. You sync to Earth to see ethereal energies, or to chronowaves to perceive things like vitality, age, and strain on objects. Hydro lets you see connections. And finally, lightning reveals the elemental properties of things. It's like you're unlocking new levels of perception one by one.
So we've done the planetary scale, we've done the perceptual scale. Now, the analysis brings it all the way down, drilling right into the microcosm, the fundamental connection between water and the life force inside a living thing.
And here's the core idea. The way water moves through a living creature, whether it's a plant or a person, is directly tied to the strength of its life energy. The source calls this a bioelectromagnetic aura. So water becomes the physical channel for a metaphysical force. And this table lays out that connection perfectly. You have the physical process on one side, water moving through tissue, and the energetic result on the other, the strength of the aura. The conclusion is simple, but it's powerful. A better, stronger flow of water means a stronger life force. It's a one-to-one relationship.
So you have to be asking, how does that even work? Well, the source material actually proposes a specific mechanism. It suggests that water has this unique ability to take a one-way, unidirectional electric current and transform it into an omnidirectional field, a field that radiates out in all directions. That's the proposed link that turns simple biology into a radiant aura of energy.
Okay, let's pull all of these different threads together now.
We've talked about moral virtues, planetary atmospheres, layers of perception, and the nature of life force. So what's the one single principle that unites all of it? Well, according to the source, it all comes down to one word: harmony.
And remember that sapphire tablet from the very beginning? Turns out its name was no accident. This amazing insight from our source material suggests that the word sapphire might actually come from a Hebrew word, shapar, which means to be pleasing, or, get this, harmoniously composed. The clue was right there at the entrance the whole time.
And as you can see here, the entire system is just built on this idea of harmony. To get in, you need moral harmony, kindness. The planet's atmosphere requires the harmony of cosmic forces. Perception is literally achieved by harmonizing your own senses with different wavelengths. And life itself is the harmony between the physical flow of water and that energetic aura. It's all connected. So we end on this thought. This has been a really deep dive into the hidden metaphysical structure of just one element. So if water conceals all these incredible layers of reality, if it's a key to perception, it just forces you to ask the question, right? What hidden structures, what veils of reality are waiting to be uncovered within the other elements? Fire, earth, and air. Definitely something to think about.